Welcome to the Squared Circle Psychobabble, and it is now time for our Swerve Me Wrong segment where I have to play devil's advocate, or maybe not. Maybe I firmly believe this on one of the popular opinions here in the world of professional wrestling. And Ralph, you represent the mouth-breathing basement dwellers in this argument. And our first argument, obviously, is one that everybody in wrestling believes, is that Roman Reigns needs to turn heel. And I have 10 minutes to prove you wrong, swerve you wrong, and thinking that he does not need to turn heel. So our production assistant here, Frank, has put 10 minutes on the clock. You'll see the countdown on on the bottom of the screen here as we get set for me to swerve you wrong. Start the clock. All right. So obviously, Roman Reigns has been in the last 4 WrestleManias in the main event, where he wrestled the likes of Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Brock Lesnar again, and The Undertaker. And because he's been in these main events and always put in these big spots, we feel like he's being shoved down our throats. Is that correct, sir?
He is by far the most oversaturated wrestler on the product right now, I would think.
Is he, though? Is he? I mean, yes, he's on the show every week on Raw, but so is Seth Rollins. So is Elias.
None of them are positioned the way that... None of them are awarded the spots that Roman's been awarded. None of them have been given the opportunity that he's been given, the big high-profile matches. The problem with Roman is so many people feel like he's been provided these opportunities and there's better, more qualified wrestlers on the roster. I agree with that. I think definitely too much oversaturation, too much Roman Reigns on a weekly basis for me to even stomach.
Well, I mean, someone has to be put on the shows, you know. At the same time, you have guys like Seth Rollins, who's in the Intercontinental Championship. He's getting a push. He's the hottest guy on Raw right now.
He probably still is one of the top guys, yeah.
Bobby Lashley, he's shown on TV all the time. Mm-hmm. Elias is shown on TV all the time. I don't think TV time should be an excuse for why someone needs to turn heel. I mean, you're booing him anyway, so why do we have to turn him heel? He's a heel because you're booing him. That's what a heel is, the guy that you hate.
People hate him because he's shoved down our throats. They don't hate him because he's acting like a heel.
But, I mean, the way that I would describe being shoved down our throats is every time he's in a match, he wins. Every time he's put in a big spot, he comes over, or he's the guy that, you know, comes out and is like, oh my God, you have to like this guy.
Yeah.
I don't think they booked him that way. I think fans have just gotten this tunnel vision like, oh, Roman's going to win this and Roman's going to win that. And yes, sometimes that happens, but there are times where it doesn't. He was supposed to win the 2018 Royal Rumble. He did not. He was supposed to win the main event at WrestleMania. He did not. He was supposed to win at the Greatest Royal Rumble. He did not. He was supposed to win at Extreme Rules. He did not. There are so many times where he has put people over when he was supposed to win.
The problem is the most over guy traditionally, until recent time, recently, the most over guy is supposed to be the one that gets gets awarded the main event at WrestleMania, wins that Royal Rumble. Where WWE went wrong with Roman Reigns was when Daniel Bryan had come back. It was assumed, and rightfully so, that he would go into that Royal Rumble and win. Roman Reigns, for the weeks leading up to that, was being booked as the next guy, the next darling of the WWE, the guy that they were going to push. It was so evident that people were predicting this long before the Royal Rumble. He was positioned as the guy. Daniel Bryan comes back from injury. He goes into the Royal Rumble. Hot as he's ever been, he loses. Not even that, he gets eliminated in forgettable fashion. Roman Reigns, I believe, went on to win that year.
Yes.
Had this been done the year prior and Roman Reigns had won, everybody wanted him to win, I think we wouldn't even be having the discussion now. Roman Reigns is in the position he is in right now because of the WWE and nobody else. None of this has to do with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was a big member of the Shield and got recognized for some good matches, and he was, the big dog or whatever the hell you want to call him, and the badass of the Shield, and it all went away in one night. He got booed out of the arena, and he has not been the same in the eyes of the fans since then.
So, in essence, he turned heel that night.
No.
He turned heel that night.
Because
if you do something so bad against the fans that even The Rock got booed, you're a heel.
Tommaso Ciampa is a heel. Okay,
yes.
Kevin Owens is a heel.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is not a heel. He parades out every single week and kind of plays to the crowd. And even this past week, I love how lively you got. Whatever the hell he said. It's embarrassing.
Well, I will say this, because it does bring up a point here. I could make the argument that Roman Reigns has already turned heel and no one has noticed this. You listen to his promos since WrestleMania, Greatest Royal Rumble. He has cut some somewhat heelish promos. How much time do I have left, Frank?
You got 5.
5 minutes. I have 5 minutes on this point. Roman Reigns has been cutting some heelish promos. And he's been, in social media, if you follow him on Twitter, he's been saying some heelish things. He's kind of turned heel already. And this past Monday was a double turn. That he turned back to a babyface. And no one even realized it. And I'll tell you why. The promos that he was cutting from the WrestleMania to now have been, I'm the uncrowned champion. I should have won. He's been complaining. I'm the dog. I'm the guy. I'm the big dog. And people have been booing him.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty heelish if you ask me.
Yeah.
As soon as his music hits, dun-dun, dun-dun, boo, heel. Okay, so he has this match with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is the promos that he cut were pretty much a babyface promo.
Yep.
Roman Reigns, he's calling him Bob. Pretty disrespectful when his name is Bobby Lashley. Heel. He's already a heel and no one even knows it.
I think he's trying to do those things to be edgy, and the fans just aren't reacting the way he'd like them to react. I think he understands his position in the WWE and the position that he's in right now, and that he plays to that. And rightfully so. But to me, I think the best thing for his character would be for him to align himself with Paul Heyman right now as a true heel, not just somebody that gets booed because he can't get over. That's the problem. When you continuously put somebody in the main event and position him as the next guy, and you have him come out every week and say that he is the guy, and you put him over The Undertaker and guys like Brock Lesnar, or supposedly he's going to go over Brock Lesnar, the fans don't like that, especially when it's somebody who isn't established in their eyes.
I get that, as we have 3 minutes left here in this segment. I understand that, but the heel is supposed to do stuff that the fans don't want, okay? And it brings back to the original point of when Daniel Bryan was hot and he did not. There were 2 Royal Rumbles. There was the Royal Rumble that he wasn't even in, and Batista won. Right. And that planted the seed for, Daniel Bryan and WrestleMania, and the sense that the mouth-breathing basement dwellers were able to control WWE products.
Well, that's nothing new, though. I mean, the fans have a right to feel however they want to feel.
I get that, but because of what happened at WrestleMania 30, they feel like they are part of the booking team now. And if they don't get what they want, they're going to crap all over it instead of letting the stories happen like they would in the Attitude Era. There were times in the Attitude Era where bad booking happened.
Of course.
Of course. But now in today's wrestling, and I believe that is what has happened in the Shinsuke Nakamura AJ Styles feud, that was a complete troll job that, this is what you want? Okay, we'll just give it to you ad nauseum now. Okay, you want Daniel Bryan to be main eventing at WrestleMania? Okay, so we'll let you have Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan on that next pay-per-view. Winner is still the number 1 contender. Roman Reigns won. Okay?
Yep.
That's a heelish thing to do. He's a heel. He has been a heel for a long time.
See.
And maybe to most people, he's been booked as the babyface. And because he's in a feud with Brock Lesnar, I could see that. But I could tell you times where he has been booked and cut promos like a heel, and people just don't realize it. Look at the promo after WrestleMania when he beat The Undertaker. He stood there for 10 minutes like soaking in the booze, said, "This is my yard," walked out. If
But
that's
he's
not a
never,
heel promo, I don't know
he's
what
never,
is.
if he wants to be a true, legitimate heel, and what he should do to establish himself as that, because I think he's better suited as a heel, even if he aligns himself with Heyman, he needs to come out and address those fans that are booing him in a way that he can call them out and you know,
I think
establish
he's
it
starting to do
as,
that, though.
as them being jealous, as him being the top guy, as them wanting to be somebody that he's not. He's not doing those things yet. He's getting booed because they're continuously putting him out there every week and saying he's the guy, and he's not the guy. He's not their best wrestler. He's not the best on the mic. He's got good hair and cool tattoos. That's it. And he comes out with his stupid vest.
What if these promos were cut by a guy like The Miz?
The Miz is a true heel.
Well, then why? What's the difference? Oh, thanks, Ava.
Thanks.
That must be our cue to leave here, as that's the end of our Squared Circle Psychobabble. That's the end of the Swerve Me Wrong segment. I think I did a pretty good job in convincing you that Roman Reigns should be heel. Maybe not. What are your thoughts? Comment on the section below here if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to us, hit the bell, like us on Facebook, Twitter, all those other social media sites. For my brother Ralph, my name is Michael Valenti, and this has been the Squared Circle Psychobabble.